Imagine standing on the deck of a luxury cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean. You are surrounded by thousands of passengers. The ocean stretches for miles in every direction. There is nowhere to run, now here to hide. Yet somehow, one young woman disappeared without leaving a single confirmed clue. More than 25 years later, no one knows exactly what happened to Amy Bradley. And some people believe she may have been seen alive years after she vanished. This is one of the strangest missing person case ever investigated. March 1998. 23-year-old Amy Bradley was exactly where many people dream of being a family vacation aboard the cruise ship Rhapsody of the Sea. She was traveling with her parents, Ron and Ilby Bradley, and her younger brother Brad. The ship was sailing through the Caribbean, making a stop at beautiful tropical island. For the Bradley family, it was supposed to be a relaxing getaway. Instead, it became the beginning of a mystery that still haunts investigators today. Who was Amy? Amy was not someone who simply disappeared on purpose. Friends described her as athletic, confident, and close with her family. She had recently graduated from college. She loved sports. She was an excellent swimmer. In fact, swimming was one of her greatest passions. That detail would later become incredibly important because one of the earliest theories suggests she somehow fell overboard. But many people, including those closest to Amy, have never believed that explanation. The last night, on the evening before Amy disappeared, the Bradley family spent time enjoying the ship. They had dinner together. Later, they visited one of the onboard clubs where passengers danced late into the night. Several witnesses remembered seeing Amy laughing, dancing, and talking with other guests. At one point, she was also seen interacting with members of the ship band. Nothing about the evening appeared unusual. Nothing suggests it would be the last time many people would ever see her. The first mystery. In the early morning hours, Amy and her brother returned to the family cabin. Her father later woke briefly and saw Amy sitting on the cabin balcony. She appeared calm, relaxed, just watching the ocean. He went back to sleep. When he woke up again a short time later, Amy was gone. The balcony was empty, her shoes were still there, but Amy Bradley had vanished, and the mystery was only beginning. The search began. When Amy's family realized she was missing, panic set in almost immediately. At first, they assumed she might have gone to get coffee or take an early morning walk around the ship. Cruise ships are enormous with restaurant, luggage, pools, casino, and multiple decks. It was not unusual for passengers to be up before sunrise. But as the minute turned into an hour, Amy was nowhere to be found. Her parents knew something was wrong. They rushed to notify the ship crew. What happened next would become one of the most controversial parts of the entire case. A critical delay, according to Amy family, they urged the crew not to allow anyone off the ship when it reached the next port. They feared that if Amy had been abducted, whoever who responsible could simply walk off the ship into the crowd. But the ship continued its scheduled arrival. Hundreds of passengers disembarked by the time a more extensive search was underway. The opportunity to secure every passenger had passed. To this day, Amy family believe those early moments may have been the best chance to find her. Every possibility. Investigators considered several possibilities. Did Amy accidentally fall overboard during the night? The ocean around the ship was searched by helicopters and nearby vessels. Nothing was found, no body, no clothing, no personal belongings. Another possibility was that Army had chosen to leave on her own. but that theory quickly raised questions. Her passport, money, and most of her belongings were still inside the cabin. Friends and family instead, she had no reason to disappear voluntarily. The witness then came the witness statement. Several passengers reporting seeing Amy during the early morning hours after the time her father last saw her on the balcony. One witness believed he saw her near an elevator and the reporting seeing her walking on an upper deck. If those sightings were accurate, it meant Amy had survived the night and was moving around the ship shortly before it docked. But none of those sightings could explain the biggest question of all: how does a healthy 23-year-old woman disappear from a cruise ship carrying thousands of people without anyone seeing what happened next? The sighting, just when investigators feared Amy Bradley had vanished forever, new reports began to emerge over the following years. Several people claimed they had seen a woman they believed was Amy in different parts of the Caribbean. One of the most discussed reports came from a US Navy sailor. He later told investigators that while visiting a brothel in Corico, a woman approached him privately. According to his account, she identified herself as Amy Bradley and begged him for help. He said he did not realize the significance of the encounter until much later. After seeing Amy missing person case in the news, by then any chance of verifying the story had disappeared. Was it really Amy? No one knew. A photograph that shocked the family. Then came another twist. A photograph surfaced online showing a woman in the cabin who bore a striking resemblance to Amy. When Amy's parents saw the image, they believed it could to be their daughter. Forensic expert and investigator examined the photograph, but no definitive conclusion could be reached. The woman's identity was never confirmed. It remained one of the most debated pieces of evidence in the case. Some believe it proved Amy survived, others argue it's simply a case of mistaken identity. Without more evidence, neither claim can be confirmed. The question that remains more than 2 decades later, investigators still don't have a clear answer. If Amy accidentally went overboard, why was there no confirmed physical evidence? If she was abducted, how could someone remove a passenger from a crowded cruise ship without being noticed? And if the reported sightings were genuine, who was older holding her? Every theory seems to answer one question while creating several more. That's what makes this case so endearing and so frustrating. Today, Amy Bradley remains officially missing. Her family has never stopped searching. Law enforcement agencies continue to accept tips, hoping that one new piece of information could finally solve the mystery. Until that day comes, the disappearance of Amy Bradley remains one of the most baffling unsolved cases in modern history. So, what do you think happened? Did Amy accidentally fall overboard? Was she abducted, or is there another explanation that investigators have missed? Share your thought in the comment because somewhere out there, someone